Hello, class. My presentation is on the Wendy's Company. I believe we're all familiar with the fast food restaurant with the red-haired, pigtail girl as their logo, Wendy's. I know a fair bit about Wendy's since it was my first job when I was 16. It was also my first job when I moved back to Florida and where I got my first experience supervising. It's a company that's been around for 50 years, 50 plus years, and that's due for their vision of growth, steps in innovation, and their wonderful charity programs. Wendy's has become a household name and is recognized globally. Wendy's was founded by Dave Thomas, and he opened their first restaurant in Columbus, Ohio, in November 15th, 1969. They also opened their first international store in September 1975 in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Wendy's reached 1,000 stores on March 1978, and a little over 2 years later, they were at 2,000 stores on November 1980. That's very impressive growth considering it took more than 5 years to reach 3,000 restaurants in February of 1985. Wendy's reached 4,000 stores in 1992, 5,000 in 1997, and 6,000 in 2001 when they opened an international restaurant in Tijuana, Mexico. And then in 2018, Wendy's opened their 500th international restaurant in Guatemala City, Guatemala. Wendy's became a public company on September 1976 when it IPO'd on the NASDAQ for $28 a share. And on May 1981, Wendy's was listed on the New York Stock Exchange, moving from the NASDAQ to the New York Stock Exchange, and they went under the ticker symbol WEN. Then, almost 20 years later, on December 2011, WEN stock went back to the NASDAQ, where it's currently being traded to this day. And in 2012, Wendy's underwent a brand transformation that was wonderfully successful, which included store makeovers and menu additions with the introduction of limited time offers, also known as LTOs. And in 2013, Wendy's won Stock of the Year. Between October 2008, between October 2012, Wendy's only grew 4%. But after the brand transformation, they grew 400% from October 12th to October 2019. Now a main key for Wendy's growth was their constant push for innovation. In 1970, just 1 year after their first restaurant was open, Wendy's introduced the first pickup window so customers would be able to pick up their food without leaving their vehicle. Then in January of 1984, Wendy's came up with an advertising campaign called Where's the Beef, which is still recognizable to this day. In 2003, they opened a Culinary Innovation Center, and in 2012, they launched their Wendy's app. And in July 2016, they joined the Department of Energy Better Buildings Challenge to reduce energy consumption by 20% by 2025. So this last point shows that Wendy's cares about the future. But that's how their founder, Dave Thomas, was. Mr. Thomas cared for people, especially children. In 1990, President Bush Sr. asked Mr. Thomas to be the spokesperson for adoption. Dave Thomas was adopted himself. 2 years later, he created the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. And from 1992 to 2013, Dave Thomas hosted a golf tournament called the 3-Tour Golf Challenge and raised $11.6 million. And in 2014, they renamed the golf tournament to Dave's Golf Tournament. They also created the High School Heisman to celebrate and give scholarships to outstanding high school athletes, both male and female, every year from 1994 to 2018. In 2003, Wendy's introduced the Boo Book coupon, which helped raise $40 million for Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. They also had the 5K run for adoption, which raised $360,000. And in 2017, they created the We Care program, which provides financial assistance to employees due to natural disasters. In closing, Wendy's has been and continues to be a phenomenal company. Their leadership from the beginning has been very strong and continued even after Mr. Thomas passed away in January of 2002. Their constant passion and strides for growth, innovation, and philanthropy has gotten them where they are and will keep them going in the future. Thank you very much.